The era of sellers calling the shots in LA and Orange County has hit a dead end. Right now, a massive inventory surge is triggering a supply shock that has unmotivated home sellers panicking in their boots. Hey guys, Lucas Smith here. I'm here with my buddy Frank Lopez for our Two Brokers podcast. Today, we're going to talk about LA and OC County inventory surging and why sellers are panicking right now. So, Frank, that's a pretty bold statement. What do you think? What do you see happening out there in LA County?
When you brought up this topic, my first thought was, nah, I don't think so. As I started doing some research, it's not only creeping up, it's here. And let me explain what I mean by that. Let's go back to COVID 2021. Just the volume, the number of buyers versus number of homes available for sale. It was amazing. I mean, my guess is there were 2 to 3 buyers
For
for
every
every.
home. Look, you didn't even have to hire an agent. You could put a sign in your yard, handwritten, that said "home for sale," and you'd have three people making an offer on it.
It was so crazy back then, Lucas, that I actually started. This is the first time I actually did this in my career in over 25 years. Is I started doing spreadsheets of offers that were coming in so that we can put 10 offers, 15 offers side by side and compare apples to apples.
Wait, Frank. I know you. You love spreadsheets, bro. Right? I mean,
Okay, yes.
you
Gu-
dream in Excel. Like I'm the
okay,
anti-Excel person,
okay,
and you love Excel. Let's just be honest.
okay, guilty. But prior to COVID, I wasn't doing that. I didn't have to. We even with a property that was well priced, we would be lucky if we had 2 offers, 3 offers, maybe.
Right.
So it's real easy to compare apples to apples when you've got 2 offers. You put them side by side. When you've got 15 offers, you need, or I needed, an Excel spreadsheet to be able to show how everything compared.
Well, I mean, even last year at this time, Frank, last year at this time, you could put a good property on the market at or just above average asking price, right? Above value, and you would get offers on the property, often
Right.
multiple offers, even just a year ago.
Yes. Yeah. And actually, still today, but we'll get into that in a second because it totally depends on the price point. Are we talking about first time buyers or are we talking about million
Well,
dollar
yeah,
property?
entry level homes are still flying off the shelves as quick as they can. But
They
we're
are.
talking about because not all homes are entry level. Mine's not, yours not, right? We're talking homes that are like a move up home. Certainly not executive mansions, but a nice family home that would be a great fit for a move up buyer, priced at an average price of about 1 million to 1.3 million somewhere here in LA and Orange County.
Earlier we were talking about COVID where there were 3 to 4 buyers. Those numbers have flipped. For Covina, at least, there's 93 homes on the market right now, and a little less than a third sold last month. So that means
So now
that
there's
we
three homes for every buyer rather than three buyers per home.
exactly. But I still didn't panic. I just thought, okay, well, yeah, the numbers are creeping up. But now that you mentioned this topic, I thought, okay, let me do a little bit of research. And I pulled up the numbers for LA County. And right now, in LA County, there's over 16,000 homes for sale. Only 4,000, a little over 4,000 sold last month. So we've got
That's
four.
only 25%, Frank,
It's still 4 homes for every one buyer.
in all of
And
LA County,
for all of LA County, that's the
right?
average. And
And you're more of
Zillow's.
a spreadsheet guy than I. I haven't done those numbers, but I can tell you my last two listings in that price point, we've had, right? We do all of our marketing, right? We do a full marketing package, full internet release, full social media release. We get great traffic through the open house. We'll get 20, 25, 35 groups through an open house. And then when it comes time for offers, crickets. So it's because buyers have more choices, right? They don't just feel compelled to buy that one house. In fact, maybe they're seeing 10 or 15 houses that fit what they want on that given day.
And if we go by Zillow's definition of what a seller's market is versus a buyer's market, Zillow typically has said that when we are at 4 months of inventory, which we're at for LA County, we're now flipping from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Once we're at 4 months or even 5 months of inventory, you're definitely in buyer market territory.
Well, what causes this, right? It's not magic, right? I can name a couple causes and tell me if you think I'm right or wrong, Frank. So, I mean, one, we're coming out of a market correction, right? Where prices in LA and Orange County dropped an average of about 10%. So, what that does is sellers' expectations have not caught that correction. So, sellers' expectations for pricing are high, and people are tending to put their homes on a little higher than they probably should, a little above market value. I think that that's part of the problem. The other part of the problem is because interest rates are dropping now, it's becoming more affordable for your, hey, maybe want to move seller to think about making a move, right? So if somebody has a 3 or a 3.25% interest rate and interest rates are 8%, they're not going to make that move. But as they get down towards the high fives and the low sixes, they're like, maybe I could, if I wanted to, get that bigger yard, get that pool, and then they put their home on the market to try the market.
Right. And yeah, interest rates definitely a factor. Um, I think that, but I think that's part of the problem as well, is rates have come down, but we've been talking about rates coming down for what, close to 3 years now.
Right.
We literally have been for the last 3 years promoting that rates are coming down. We will be at some point in the fives, and it ain't happening.
We ain't there yet. And
No, no,
people are starting to call us Pinocchio or the boy that cried wolf, right? They're like,
but
you guys
well,
are
but it,
lying. You said buy the house and date the rate, and I'm still dating this ugly rate and I can't get rid of her.
well, that's part of it. But I think I do think that because we've been saying this for such a long time, and they have crept downward, I think that some buyers are thinking, well, it's someday that's going to happen. But that someday mentality is keeping buyers from jumping and acting, and they're taking their time. And when you've got buyers that take their time and they're shopping around, homes are going to sit in the market longer and they're just not going to sell.
And we're seeing this phenomenon we haven't seen for years. We're seeing below asking price offers. I don't know if you've seen this on your listings, but I've certainly seen it on mine where people are coming in below asking price.
Great point. I've got an entry level home right now. We actually got 12 offers total. But here's the thing. Um, a year ago, I think a year ago, and well, yeah, at least a year ago, all of those offers would have started at asking and been higher. This is the first time in a really long time that almost half of those offers were at asking or below.
Or below, right?
Right.
So, and we try to keep this short, we try to keep it sweet, we try to keep it informative. If you're a seller or you're thinking of selling and you want to navigate this new buyer dominant market, Frank, what's one piece of advice as somebody in over 25 years of experience as a broker in this industry, what would you tell a seller to do in order to stay ahead of this market?
You have to settle, you have to find that sweet spot in terms of pricing that makes you nervous, that you're thinking, I hope I don't get this price. I'd like a price much higher than this, but you got to price it. You got to find that sweet spot where it's priced low enough where it's getting a lot of attention and buyers are interested and they start bidding the price up. Because
Right.
that old strategy that I think 95% of the realtors out there are using of let's price it above above
List them
asking.
high and watch them buy, I think is what they call it.
What? Yeah, whatever. I've never heard that. I've never heard that. That's news to me. But
That's because I just made it up. But it sounds like
okay,
what people did.
I
List them
like it.
high and watch them buy, baby. And that
I
just
like
doesn't work
I like it.
anymore.
I think it'll stick. Um, but I think most realtors are just don't have the what's the word? Don't have the fortitude.
Cojones
That's where I wanted to go. But I'm gonna stick
to
with
have an
fortitude.
honest conversation with their seller and say, hey, Mr. Seller, the market has changed. The market is different. And really touch on that motivation. Look, my advice is if you're a seller, right, reach down and look at your real motivation, right? Because if you just want to try the market or if you just want to test the market, you're going to be disappointed. Your agent's going to be disappointed. Your buyers are going to be disappointed,
Right.
right? But if you have a real motivation and a real reason that you want to do it and you want to make it happen, then like Frank said, price your property at a price that makes you uncomfortable, right? Price it at a price that you know you're going to get multiple offers and drive it up to the top of the market. right? In order to serve you best and make sure that you get the most buyers competing for your home.
That's it. It's all pricing. You've got to be smart.
Pricing is the number one marketing tool we have. I can't
You
explain
have
that to people enough.
you have to be strategic about your pricing. And if somebody, and when you ask for a price that's way overpriced, and that realtor, that agent agrees with you, yeah, let's try that number first. Time to move on. It ain't
Yep.
gonna work. Not in this market.
Yep, not going to work for them, not going to work for you. Absolutely. Hey, thanks, Frank. I really appreciate it. If folks want to get a hold of you, if they haven't watched our last 50 videos and they want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
Frank Lopez, broker.com.
Okay, great. And I'm easy. Sellmyhomerealestate.com. And if you want to sell your home, sellmyhomerealestate.com. I'm Lucas. This is my buddy Frank. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.